Welcome to the technical communication lecture for today. I have split this out into a number of different smaller sections. The first one will be on visual communication. There'll be one on oral communication and one on written communication. And then I have a whole section on just finding a job, looking at cover letters, resumes, and also interviewing. So let's get started with the visual communication part, or just actually even talking about communication in general, right? So the first thing is engineers must possess the technical skills to complete engineering analysis, evaluation, and design, right? That is a core part that we need. But the book goes into this and it states that, however, these skills are essential unless they cannot be communicated to the range of audiences with whom they work, right? So those skills are really useless if we can't communicate. So communication is key to all of this. I know some of the best engineers and have the best ideas and things, but they cannot communicate or discuss what their ideas are, and those don't help that person, right? Their ideas don't get used. So when we look at communication, one of the things we need to think about is what is the purpose of your communication, right? Or who is the audience also that we're talking to? Because that audience will really dictate on how I communicate. I may talk in more of a technical term, or I may keep the communication more in a brief overview tone, right? I may have to go into explanations of certain things that I don't with other engineers. So we're kind of knowing what our audience is, or even on confidentiality information, right? If I have confidential information from the company, I may not be able to talk to them about certain things, right? And the other part is what is expected of me as a communicator, right? What are they trying to get out of me? What are you looking for? And what is my desired output from this whole thing? So in communication, a few golden rules. One is to keep it brief, right? Keep it simple and brief. As engineers, we like that kind of thing. We don't really need a lot of extra wording and extra, adjectives of things. We just need to be right to the point on everything. And the other good thing is to also show it, right? So these are kind of the basic parts of just communication itself. I want to start out, of course, with visual, right? That's the first thing we're going to talk about. And then the next two videos following this are on oral communication and written communication. So let's start with this visual communication. So some types of visual communication that you might have would be graphs or charts, right? Showing data like this really explains a lot. This is a stress-strain diagram. It's showing the material properties for a particular type of material. It kind of shows the difference between engineering stress and true stress and what that is. So it kind of gives a reader something easy to see, or a person you're talking to see when you're communicating about something. So charts and graphs are very important. Also, just imagery of any type is also important. It could be just pictorials of bridges or linkages or whatever it may be. Those are important things. And the last part is really in visual communication is how do you present yourself? Whether it is at a presentation where you're giving a speech, whether it is at an interview, wherever it may be, how you present yourself. You could present yourself as the person on the left, or you could present yourself as the person on the right. The person on the left may be extremely intelligent and know a lot, but sometimes it's hard to get over some of the visual cues that you're giving of yourself. So it is highly recommended that you kind of dress more appropriately, have yourself more presentable as part of also that visual communication. All right, the next section will be on oral communication.